Ah.
If you see me, you can do that.
2:30 or something. So if you had any extra people, send them out. Somebody has to be able to ask them to go forward.
It is at this spot where President Abraham Lincoln delivered the Gettysburg Address, November 19th, 1863. I believe that Mr. Lincoln will deliver the address again very shortly. That may be him.
How you doing? Fine, thank you. How you doing? Yes, we do have one. Thank you.
Why do you have to warn them?
Oh, you're going to sit.
Well, why do you guys always let the fish that talking come here? Because of the noise. No noise.
Well, not so now the wreath layers. We're going to put 4 on one side and 4 on the other side. So would you mind making it in?
Just continue that count.
Hi, Lindsay. You want to say anything? Are you glad to be at Gettysburg? You're not happy to be here? What would you rather be doing?
Playing.
Playing? You can play here.
Ivan!
When you're sitting in a car like that, all we got to do is be in the front and we had behind, and they were good, but I didn't want the rest of them. All I know, she could take a picture of the president like you were, and I living like that. You want me to take your mic, president? So I can tell. I wish I could do this.
Of our national anthem. Thank you, Reverend McCaskill. The parade Abraham Lincoln Address, Gettysburg Lincoln Address. It has never been done so well as the portrayer, James Getty. He travels every year throughout the United States portraying Abraham Lincoln. He's not the first portrayer, and he probably will not be the last. But there is no contest, he certainly is the best. And we are very, very proud to have him as a resident of Gettysburg. We're very proud to have him today to deliver, as he does every year, the Lincoln Address. Mr. Getty.
Fourscore and 7 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty, and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation or any nation so conceived and so dedicated can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of that field as a final resting place for those who here gave their lives that that nation might live. It is altogether fitting and proper that we should do this. But in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground. The brave men, living and dead, who struggled here have consecrated it far above our poor power to add or detract. The world will little note nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here. It is for us, the living, rather to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. It is rather for us to be here dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead, we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion. That we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom, and the government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth.
Thank you, Mr. Getty. One of the signers of the Declaration of Independence was once asked, "What would you like to have inscribed on your tombstone as an epitaph?" And he said, "It would be, the greatest tribute that I could receive would be said in one word: patriot." And that one word is what applies to every veteran that's buried here in this cemetery and every other cemetery in the world. There's one other word that we possibly could add: hero. This is Memorial Day, the day that we pay tribute to our veterans who have served in the defense of our country, whether they be buried here or anywhere else in the world. And we remember them both as world patriots and world heroes. And that is why we're here. Another continuing tradition of our program is the rendering of the Battle Hymn of the Republic. We are honored again this year to have another Gettysburg resident do this for us, and I'd like to introduce at this time Wayne Hill.
Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. He is trampling out the vintage where the grapes of wrath are stored. He hath loosed the fateful lightning of his terrible swift sword. His truth is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His truth is marching on. He has sounded forth the trumpet that shall never call retreat. He is sifting out the hearts of men before his judgment seat. Oh, be swift, my soul, to answer him. Be jubilant, my feet. Our God is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His truth is marching on. In the beauty of the lilies, Christ was born across the sea, with a glory in his bosom that transfigures you and me. As he died to make men holy, let us live to make men free, while God is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah.
Cemetery Hill? What is this called? Cemetery Ridge?
I don't know.
This is the high point of the Battle of Gettysburg. This is where most of the losses, I think, took place. You can see that many of the graves are marked without names, but more so with just numbers. It's estimated the amount of dead and wounded at the Battle of Gettysburg was in excess of 50,000. And I'm here today with Lauren, a survivor of that great battle, here to commemorate it on Memorial Day.
In a little less than a mile, we'll be at the Virginia Memorial. This is one of the most famous monuments in the world. It's considered by many to be the best likeness ever conceived of Robert E. Lee. The statue of his horse, Traveler, has been called the best horse ever sculptured. Most statues of horses seem to be modeled in a state of excitement, but Traveler stands with quiet dignity in the attitude of an intelligent, finely bred horse accustomed to the screeching sounds of war. The monument was unveiled on June 8, 1917, by Miss Virginia Carter, a niece of the great general. This is the only statue in the entire park of a Southern general. But Robert E. Lee was more than a Southern general. He was, in truth, a man who became a legend in his own time. Decisions of his personal life. The regular United States Army tried to persuade him to remain in their service. It's said they even offered him command of the entire Union Army. But they might as well have tried to keep the world from turning. Although he found the idea of secession and slavery personally obnoxious, Robert E. Lee chose to stand by the land of his birth. In 1861, he resigned his commission in the old Army. Later, he was appointed commander of the Army of Northern Virginia. In that role, his reputation soared to unthinkable heights. General Lee was imaginative, bold, decisive, truly a born leader. His soldiers adored him, and the entire South worshipped him.
Look at Dad.
Oh my.
There's 113 steps.
Is that right?
Uh-huh. Are you tired already, Papa?
Huh?
Are you pooping a little? Dad over there.
Where is he?
Over there.
Hi, Dad. I don't think you can hear
Come
us.
on. Hi, Ron. Hi. What is that? Eisenhower. Weird one there. Yeah. Little round top.
Little round top.
That's a little round top right there. Then go over there. That's a big round top.
Let's compare.
Going out on a little thing.
The electric map.
Okay, Lauren. You see Lauren is standing here at Gettysburg National Park, and in the background, you'll see back there a white farmhouse. And that is the farm of President Dwight D. Eisenhower, commanding general of the Allied forces in Europe during World War II. And that was the only home he ever owned. And the farm exists today, and I'm sure it's owned by his heirs. And it is outside, just outside of the Gettysburg Battleground National Park area. Well, as you see, we're standing atop of Little Round Top here, and it is at this point where the Union Army defended the onslaught of the Confederate forces out in the distance. They were able to maintain this position, and the Confederates had to retreat after failing to make their mission to take the hill. This is the top of the, quote, fish hook, the shank of the fish hook, and one of the most important battles at Gettysburg. This is Lindsay, standing next to an authentic Civil War Gettysburg battlefield cannon. And Lindsay, do you want to read what it says at the end of the muzzle, right there, where your right hand is?
Erected in 1910, it had 34,500 Pennsylvanians who served in the battle, roughly a third of the Union strength here. And their names are listed in alphabetical order by regiment on the bronze plaques below. The statues rimming the monument are of President Lincoln, various Civil War generals who came from Pennsylvania, and Andrew Gregg Curtin, the wartime governor of Pennsylvania. Now, pull into the parking area if you wish to visit the Pennsylvania Memorial and switch me off. If not, we'll continue our tour by driving north along Hancock Avenue to the angle.
Wow. Pennsylvania had 34,530 soldiers committed to this battle. It's a whole bunch, huh?